This is another fishing podcast.
I've said this many times, the Bass Pro Tour format, the Major League Fishing format, that when they first started with the Cup events, went to the Bass Pro Tour, they brought that format over. I think they'll probably do that with the other Major League Fishing tournaments that aren't the Bass Pro Tour eventually. But it is a superior format, okay? I came from the old school days of the Bassmasters, 5-fish limit. I mean, I fell in love with bass fishing because of that show and that organization, Ray Scott. I fell in love with bass fishing, competitive fishing. And so I have a special place in my heart for the 5-fish limit. But as far as a spectator sport, okay, as far as something that you're watching on television, that's what sports is supposed to be. You have to have spectators. You have to have people that want to watch your product, okay? So it needs to be as exciting as possible. And I understand that in fishing, that can be a bit difficult because fishing is very subjective. It's very much it's a personal thing. It's hard to convey that in television. God knows I've been doing it or trying to do it for 24 years. Okay, I've been in the business, television production business, specifically in outdoors and fishing for 24 years, and I've been trying to do it effectively. It's very, very difficult. Okay, but this Bass Pro Tour format it's a superior format. And I know that's controversial because people love their 5-fish limit, and and it's not just even the 5-fish limit so much that Major League Fishing has, okay? The fact that you have periods, right? So you have time, you have a cutoff time where an angler has done fishing. They have to have a fish in the boat by let's say they hook up, they got to get a fish over the gunnel. They only have a certain amount of time to do stuff, okay? And that leads for very dramatic elements within the Bass Pro Tour. And I think it makes it much more palatable for a spectator, especially like a new spectator coming into it. And it just is more exciting. And I witnessed that, okay? I witnessed it firsthand. I filmed it with Matt Becker, Stage 2, Santee Cooper in South Carolina for the Bass Pro Tour. I'll just get into it. This is from Major League Fishing's MajorLeagueFishing.com. So on their website, okay, they had an article about it. I want to read this little snippets here first about how Matt Becker got in to the championship round. I think he then because of this, he got into the championship round. Okay, this was a while back, a few weeks back, so my memory's kind of hurting. But this article is going to help me refresh my memory. But it's going to exemplify. Is that the right word? I don't know. It's going to describe very, very well. And then the video that I'm going to play here shortly is also going to very well describe why this is a superior format for at least spectators, okay? So let's get into it. This is from MajorLeagueFishing.com. Becker's clutch catches cap frantic final period. For just about everyone except Justin Lucas, it looked for much of the day like the sunny post-vernal conditions that greeted the knockout round competitors had dampened the bite. But as they have all week, the lunkers that live in Santee Cooper showed up in a major way down the stretch. 7 of the 14 bass that weighed more than 6 pounds hit the scales during period 3, including 4 of the 5 8-plus pounders. No surprise that action resulted in a roller coaster ride around the cut line. Watson, Dave Lefebvre, James Watson, Dave Lefebvre, Casey Ashley, and Matt Becker all fell out of the top 10 at various points in the final stanza before finishing the day above the elimination line. So if you don't understand, if you're kind of new to Major League Fishing and you don't even know what I'm talking about, so this is the knockout round for the anglers to get into the championship round. That will, only the top 10 guys can get into the championship round, the final day. This group, I think it's 20 guys. I can't remember. It was 40 guys altogether, maybe. I should know this, but they changed things up a bit this year. So it's either 40 guys or 20 guys got to get into the top 10. So they've even whittled down The previous competition days, they've whittled it down to just 40 or 20 guys. I cannot remember that, okay? But that's the knockout round, okay? That's the second to last day. Those guys got to make it into this top 10, all right, to make it to the championship round. They have to have enough weight. And here's the other thing about the Bass Pro Tour. The fact that you have, every fish counts. It's just there's more stuff going on. There's people being passed, and there's a lot more activity going on. I think when they moved to the variable weight, it became, people were complaining about it being just a small fish, people just targeting small fish. So they brought it up to, typically it's like around 2 pounds. I think that has helped out dramatically. And so any fish around 2 pounds, something like that, you can count it, catch, weigh, release. It's better for the fishery. I can go on and on and on. Why? Just the Bass Pro Tour, the Major League Fishing format, just how they're operating is a superior deal. All right. So what was I saying? So these guys need to get in the top 10, and there's a time limit, right? So there's 3 periods a day, 2 breaks, okay, in between those periods. And so they only have so much time, and there's a lot of dramatic elements that can happen because of that. And it's super exciting. For a guy that, has a heavy camera on his shoulder all day, I've been standing out there all day in all kinds of extreme elements a lot of times, it really keeps you in tune to the action, okay? Especially if you're a fisherman like myself. So these guys got to get in the top 10, and they're running out of time when it gets towards the end of the day, right? So there's a timer and everything, and they only have so much time. And so let me just continue on with this article. No one rallied in a more dramatic fashion than Becker. The reigning Fishing Clash Angler of the Year spent virtually the entire afternoon outside the top 10. With less than 5 minutes left before lines out, he still needed a 3-pound, 14-ounce bass to claw his way inside the cut, okay? And I'm filming this whole thing, and I'm like, dude, Becker's a stick, okay? So I knew it was possible, but I knew it was a mountain to climb. So Becker returned to the spot where he'd caught most of his fish and picked up a Bill Lewis hammer trap. This is a new lure that Bill Lewis has come out with. It's a lipless crankbait, and I like it. It looks really, really good. A few casts in, the decision paid off with a bite, but the bass weighed 313, 1 ounce shy of what he needed to overtake David Dudley. Instead of wasting precious seconds by asking his marshal to reweigh the fish, Becker quickly made the same cast and hooked up again. This time, his catch, a 212, proved plenty big enough to clinch him a spot in the championship round with less than 2 minutes to spare. Talk about clutch. And yeah, so I'm telling you, it's just better all around. And I know people are they're set in their ways. I'm not going to disparage any organization here, okay? I work in the industry, so it does not behoove me to do that. I wouldn't do it anyway. But the reality is, just for the sport of bass fishing, this is better, y'all. This is better. Forget about the politics and all the nonsense going on with that. I can't stand any of that. I want what's best for fishing in this regard, what's best for bass fishing, competitive bass fishing. This is the best deal, I'm telling you. And to show you what I'm talking about, you'll be able to watch my fantastic videography here. Check this out. All right, I got to bring the volume up. Here we go.
Says it's the one he needs.
I'm actually going to start it over because it's so good. Here we go.
If that's a bass, that's the one we need. Please
Becker
be a bass.
says it's the one he needs. He's 314 back.
Come on. What do we have? Oh, it's a bass, but he's not big enough. How much do we need? How much do we need?
You need 314.
It's going to be
that's
close.
We need one more.
£3, 13 ounces.
Oh my gosh, 1 ounce short.
1 ounce shy.
Yeah, come on.
And back
We can
to
get
it is
one more.
Becker. Wow.
Come on.
313 gets him within an ounce.
When he gets a bite, he's been getting multiple bites,
he hit
though.
it. There he is.
And he's got one.
Come on, baby. This is the
2-minute
one.
warning.
You got 2 minutes.
Come on. Yep. Come here. Nice and easy. Nice and easy. Come to daddy. Come to daddy.
1 minute 45.
Come here, come here. Yes!
Matt Becker.
That's what I'm talking about. Yes!
Has to be 1-8 or better.
Yes!
2 pounds, 12 ounces.
Yes!
And Matt Becker is a
yes,
dream
yes.
wrecker once again. He has done it time and time again. Matt
Oh
Becker
my God, thank you, Lord.
gets in with a minute and
Made
a
us
half
wait
left.
till the last minute.
I mean, there it is. That tells you. That tells you everything you need to know. It is a superior format, and Matt Becker, Matt Becker, the bass wrecker, as he's known, he showed why. I've filmed. It was super exciting to film that because I love bass fishing, I love fishing, and I love competitive fishing. I haven't done it for a long time, but it's still like to be able to witness those things, to capture that is really, I get charged up about. I love doing that. And this format, the fact that everybody knows how everybody else is doing, that's the other thing too that's so important about this format. Another big thing, all the other anglers know how everybody's doing, just like every other sport. Any sport out there, all the competitors know, okay, how the other competitors are doing. And so it's just, it's just so much better all around. And Matt Becker, hats off to you, dude. You made it in the championship round, and you're Angler of the Year, and you are a person that did a great job explaining why the Major League Fishing format is a better format, and what they got it's got to be implemented throughout competitive bass fishing, as far as I'm concerned.